Hey there and welcome back. It is another video, it's another sunny day, and I'm glad to be here, eh? Thanks for watching the last one. I feel like it was relatively well received. This one's just a quick little chat, I guess, about my plans for this year, plans for 2023. The first thing that I wanted to go over was I guess my take on the state of film photography at the moment. I feel like rewind to 2 years ago, and I feel like those were the old days where you could pick up a box of 5 rolls of Portra 400 for, I don't know, like $100 or something. And it was the year of plenty, like there was heaps to shoot, heaps to be discovered, heaps to explore about film, and it was gaining popularity. And then you jump into 2022, you can't get anything. You can barely get your hands on a couple of rolls from your local store, and everywhere that's got an online store is sold out for months. And who knows when they're getting another shipment in. I had someone tell me that they don't even order a quantity, they just get sent whatever they get allocated, I guess. They're just sending out whatever they can. And this is a really interesting bottleneck to find yourself in if you like shooting color film. And to be honest, it's a little too much in the sense that there's heaps of work out there, heaps of people want it. The demand is so high, but there is such a limited supply. I would just jump on anything that will come up on Facebook Marketplace. I remember someone was trying to get rid of like 4 or 5 rolls of expired Portra 400, 800, or 160 or whatever for, I don't know, $20 to $50 or something. And I just bought it all and I used it all. It was garbage because it was expired, but it was color film, and that's all you could get at the time, which is insane to think about. And so this year, I think, given the situation, given the rarity, unpredictable nature of whether you can get color film or not, I'm going to make some changes to the way that I work. And I think they are relatively reasonable adaptations to what I already do, in the sense that lately, maybe I've been forced into this habit because of what we're talking about here, but I've been shooting way more black and white, not just film, but also digital. I'm shooting way more black and white. And so I think my rule for this year is going to be, in seasons of actually having color film, it'll be a 5-to-1 ratio of black and white film to color. I know that some photographers out there have like a on the fly sort of chop and change feel. I think like even Joe Greer's talked years ago about how he's like, every third roll I'll try and do a black and white or something. And I think it's going to be the complete opposite for me, because Ilford HP5 is just everywhere. You can get it any day, really. You can buy it in the 10s, 20s. You can buy it in like 100-foot roll, and that's insane. But I'm planning to start doing my own developing. Like, I recently picked up some developing equipment, and I'd love to be doing my own devs and scans this year at some point. I'd love to learn how. If it's rubbish, then I'll just keep sending it to my guys at the film lab. But until then, I'd love to be trying it out, seeing if that can cut some costs here and there. But given the state of color film, if I can get 20 rolls of HP5 or whatever for like $200 at around $10 a roll, and Kodak Portra 400 is going up another 17 or 20% or whatever it is this year, if you can get it, then yeah, it's going to make a whole lot of sense for me to just do a 5-to-1 ratio. I mean, I'm even stingy with it now. Like, I remember when I went to Europe last year, I stockpiled, and in retrospect, I should have been a little more. I don't know. I don't regret it. I stockpiled. I had like 5 Pro Packs of Portra 400 to go to Europe with, and I shot most of them. There was this tiny little shop in Florence that had some Portra 400, so I was like, cool, I'll pick up an extra pack to take home, because I don't know what the situation's going to be like when I get back to Australia. And I was right. And I was lucky to even have that extra 5 rolls. And it still lasted me. I have 4 of those remaining from when I picked them up in Florence from July last year, just because it's too hard to get. I'm scared to use it. I don't know what to use it on. I don't want to just use it on any old crap. I feel like the risk is too high for me shooting street with it, because what if I go out and the day is rubbish? And you have to burn some film to get the good ones. You have to get in the flow. So you have to burn maybe a roll before you get into the really good stuff where you're comfortable working effectively. And I don't want to burn a roll of $60 color film these days. I had this funny little search on Amazon just to see if you can get it anywhere. You can't get it anywhere, but this was the screenshot that I had. I sent it to a friend and he was like, "Are you kidding? Is it going to be that much?" I don't know, but it said $55. Color film is like cancelled or whatever. So I guess there are also alternatives like Kodak Gold 200 or Color Plus or Ultramax or whatever the other one is, Pro Image, but they're not as good. You can't push them as much. The ISO is just, base ISO is just lower, so I'm less likely to want to use it. 400 is really the sweet spot. You can push it up or you can bring it down. Often, well, lately I haven't had to push any film because it's just been so sunny out that I've been able to shoot everything at box speed, which is nice. But to push 400 to 800 is much less than trying to push Portra 160 to 800 or Kodak Gold 200 to 800. It's not nearly as flexible. It's not nearly as nice, at least for what I like to use it for. And so this is kind of my thoughts for this year, is that I want to commit to at least this year still shooting film and still shooting a bit of color film, maybe 5:1. But beyond that, I think 2024, I will have to do another one of these. I'll have to do another reassessment. How much is shooting on film actually good for my, I don't know, how much is it good for my career, my passion, my drive to do this, for my work? Is it really the medium I want to show my work in? Or do I just flip to digital? I think that's something else that I had thought of. I thought of when I picked up this M6 last week or the week before. I feel like in my head, I was thinking, I'm trading in the M4. The M6 is for now, and then later on, it's a trade-in. It's a high value trade-in item for an M10. So I feel, at least for my own pockets, in a way, eventually the way I'm going will come full circle to shooting digital again, but it might be on a Leica. And if I had my way, and if I could afford it, I would probably just pick up an M10 monochrome, because that's what I'm doing pretty much now. It looks nice. It looks fun. It looks a little bit niche, but I don't know, maybe that niche is what I need. The Q2 is already color, and I shoot that in black and white half the time. So these are all things just going around in my head. If I want to make a book one day, do I want it to be on film? How much is that going to cost to make? It'll cost thousands of dollars just to do the images, and then however many thousands more dollars to print the images and to get a book published. So these are all things that are floating around my head in terms of what's feasible, what can I afford to do, and what do I need to sacrifice? Do I sacrifice shooting film to, in a way, try and be able to pay for the other things that I want to do? Is it a compromise to just shoot digital? So these are the sorts of things that I'm thinking about. And at the moment, I'm shooting pretty conservatively the film. I'm shooting the film that I have in my storage pretty conservatively. I would say that I'm shooting like 1-to-1 trips out. If that makes sense, I'm going out once shooting film for however many hours, and then I come home. The next time I go out, I'm going, all right, it's digital this time, because I don't want to be forking out that much money. So I think that's pretty much all that I had to say. I should have another video coming out shortly about a street photography project that I'm working on that I hope to see grow throughout the rest of this summer and into maybe the end of this year. But yeah, no, I appreciate you watching so far. Yeah, I'd love to hear about your experiences, your thoughts on the film situation in terms of supply, demand, cost, whether it's worth it. I want to know what you guys think, because I think there's a really rich and intense discussion to be had. And I want to know what your plans are for your film photography or digital experiences this year. And I want to see how that's going to work for you and how you plan to, I guess, budget if you shoot film. And then if you don't shoot film, I want to see you lord it over everybody and show me your bank balance, because you're probably richer than I am. Anyway, see you later.